Just exiting from the hostel by this card, which costed 80 rubles. I think this is the most centrally located metro station. The St. Isaac's Cathedral, all that glitters is gold, and somebody can definitely buy a stairway to heaven with all this gold, is what I was thinking. The center dome, Tandoori Nights, and they have thali for 1,000 rubles. This is Admiralty Fountain. This used to be the headquarters of Russian Navy. Bronze horseman. Statue actually survived the Second World War. Nothing bigger than this has ever been moved. Name of this is Alexander Column. Since Alexander got defeated while trying to conquer India, that's why maybe they call this Alexander Column. Maybe in Europe, that there are actual people who kind of pose like a statue. Trains here, these are the bullet trains. My train is going to be something like this.
Попали прям самое вот это.
It's 11:30 in the morning. Just exiting from the hostel. These are the stairs that go down. The hostel is actually on the 6th floor. Now I'll head to have some breakfast. I was actually busy creating the video for day 52, 53, I think. Yeah, the ride to Moscow and then the stay in the Moscow. Yeah, it took quite some time. The internet was not good, so I didn't choose to upload it. I'll probably upload it tomorrow. Now I'm heading for the breakfast. Though there was a nice and good and cheap chain of restaurants, bakery kind of a place. I think it's called Pekarna, that I had discovered, and there are lots of them here in St. Petersburg. And they are good. They have some nice bakery items, and then they also have coffee. So I'm going to go there, have my coffee, and then go for sightseeing. I was talking of, I don't know how to say the name. It's Pekarnia or Lekarnia. The first is L or P, I'm not sure. It's EKA, and then P is R, and then H is N. And the R the other way is Ia. So because that's how they write India also. The opposite R comes at the end. So yeah, I'll probably look up the map as to what the real name is. So I'm here at a different place. This place is called Kofix. Also, I figured that I think Pekarna is a generic name for bakery in Russian. So all these shops, they write their names as Pekarna, but well, that's not the name of that particular shop, I think. So I came to this other shop, Kofix. I had something to eat yesterday and had coffee here. This is just next to the metro station, next to this Cuba hostel here. It's actually cheaper than that other place, and yeah, the people here were nicer, so I decided to come here. So I have one small chicken sandwich and one espresso with milk, and total it costed me 180 rupees. I think the chicken is 100 and this is I think chicken is 120 and I think this is 60, so it's 180. I'll quickly have my breakfast, then I'll go to the metro station, buy the day pass, and then start heading to all these sightseeing locations. A coffee shop named Kofix. Well, it's not the tastiest of the food, but it's reasonably priced for sure, and you will find a lot of these in St. Petersburg. Now I'm heading to the metro station. The metro station entrance is right next, so it says subway entrance. Yeah. Okay, next shooting will be from inside the metro. Okay, so I have to buy this card, which costed 80 rubles, and the day-long pass was 270 rubles, so overall 350. So So I paid 350 rubles. So I have gotten down at Nevsky Prospect metro station. I think this is the most centrally located metro station with all the major tourist spots of St. Petersburg near it. So yeah, if you want to probably pick an accommodation or a hostel, it's worthwhile to check how far it is from Nevsky Prospect metro station. Okay, so I decided to come to Kazan Cathedral. Apparently the entry to this place is free, and this is also considered the mother of all cathedrals here in St. Petersburg. So I wanted to check this out first. Passing by another canal, and I saw this building, and something's written on it in French, which is very surprising. I'm guessing it's French. Au Pont Rouge Esther Set Ski Falls. I don't know. But yeah, the view is good, so I thought I'll capture. It actually feels like I'm in downtown London. Like, yeah, the buildings look exactly like how they used to look in London. I mean, if somebody would have shown this to me and would have asked me to guess the city, I would have said London. It's St. Isaac's Cathedral first look. But more impressive than that are the buildings around here. Well, not exactly more impressive, but yeah, like these buildings first caught my attention. And I'll go closer to the St. Isaac's Cathedral and then start shooting there. Okay, so till date the most grand cathedral that I have seen would be St. Paul in London. But I think the St. Isaac's Cathedral seems to surpass that. Maybe I have to go to London again to see St. Paul Cathedral, but yeah, this is pretty large and grand, and now I understand why the ticketing queue for this place is huge. And one of the reviews has said that you should probably try to book the ticket in advance, but there are quite a few people standing in the queue. Maybe I can try getting a ticket. Yeah, maybe I should first get the ticket and then do the recording. Got my ticket for 450 rubles, and now I'm entering the place, St. Isaac's, sorry, what was the name? Cathedral, yes. So I'm inside the St. Isaac Cathedral, and yeah, it's definitely very majestic, and the drawings on the ceiling and the wall, they definitely compete with the drawing in the Vatican Museum, I would say. And I think they are also designed by very prominent Russian painters. I mean, there are a few names that I read. And well, there is so much of gold inside. I'm guessing it's gold because I could read that the outer dome is definitely gold. But I'm guessing the inner, this all the thing that's shining is also gold. And looking at all this gold, well, I got remembered of the song from who are they? Led Zeppelin. All that glitters is gold. and somebody can definitely buy a stairway to heaven with all this gold, is what I was thinking. Anyway, yeah, it's not too wide. I mean, you can just roam around and see everything from inside. I was actually hoping it is like wider, like you go around, look around, see different things, like how the Vatican Museum was. But well, it didn't turn out to be that big. But in spite of that, I think it's good. It's good that it's small. It saves me time so that I can go and check out the other places. Yeah, over here I think there are more golden statues. Actually, I doubt. Like this, I don't think this all is gold. Maybe it is. I'll probably do more research. But this is the proper church. I think the picture of Jesus here in the front. Soviet regime made this as a museum, and there was a proposal by one of the government officials to convert this back to church, hand it over to the Orthodox authorities, like the church authorities. But I think that got opposed, and the case is still pending in the court. Yes, there are courts in Russia, which I was also surprised to know. But yeah, apparently there is. Okay, I think I shot this enough. There's too much of gold, and I'll probably gonna dream of gold now. But okay, I didn't shoot this part. The center dome. And apparently this church was rebuilt like 4 times, and the 4th time is the current thing that we see, and it's built by a French architect. Yes, apparently the emperor of that time, he actually invited proposals, and eventually the proposal was granted to one of the French architects. Oh, there's Adam and Eve picture as well. Okay, nice. So on one side of this St. Isaac's Cathedral, at the exit there are these statues on the top. I'm not sure if I go far they'll be so clearly visible. Yeah, I mean they usually, these kind of statues, they are built like closer to the ground. I don't know why they build it so high, but maybe there's some significance. So very close to the St. Isaac Cathedral there is this Indian restaurant. I was walking and this came on the way, Tandoori Nights, and they have thali for 1,000 rubles, and the menu also looks pretty interesting as in it is also in English, so I could read a lot of stuff here. Well, I'm not eating, but if at all you ever see this video of mine and then decide to come to this place, yeah, you can always get some Indian food here. There is another restaurant next to it. It's also an Indian restaurant, Tandoor. Interesting. There are 2 Indian restaurants next to each other. That's pretty surprising. It's actually a better view of St. Isaac Cathedral with the main dome fully visible, and there are some side domes also which are visible. I think from the close I couldn't see this dome completely. This is Admiralty Fountain. I just saw this tower from St. Isaac Cathedral, and I thought of coming over here, and then I looked on the map and it said the name is Admiralty Fountain. Yeah, I don't know the historical significance of it, but it does look like a good place. The problem with St. Petersburg is that when I open the map and I choose Google Map and there's an option attractions in it, and I choose the attractions option, well, there are so many attractions that come on the map that it's hard for me to like figure out where to go and where not to go. Then I have to go to either TripAdvisor or some Google search and say top things to see in St. Petersburg, and then I see a few options. Well, yeah, I think sightseeing in St. Petersburg is hard, with probably so many sites marked as attractions. And well, this wasn't one of the top attractions, but since I just saw it from the place, I decided to just walk over here. It's called Admiralty, and I read some Google reviews to figure out that this used to be the headquarters of Russian Navy. Well, you're not allowed to go inside the building. I mean, there's just a periphery, but yeah, that's probably about this building. Maybe I'll probably just it seems too big. Yeah, no, I'm not going around this. I think that is it. I'm here at this restaurant, Tolstoy Frere. Actually, after a very long time, I looked up a restaurant on Google Maps because, well, Yandex Map and Tugis both have like most places names in Russian, and then the reviews are also in Russian. I wanted to look up a beer place, and then I looked it up on Google Map, and then some places showed up, and then I came to this place, Tolstoy Frere. And the beer prices are actually cheap here. Like, this is half liter Ziglovsky. This is a local, like, this is the beer which is made in Russia, and the half liter is for 250 rubles, which is around less than $3, I would say. And then they were nice enough to give me this complimentary, I think this is fish and bread and some cheese for my first visit. So I thought I should record, and I should also mention their name as a way to pay back for the favor. Overall, the ambience is interesting. It is made like a underground dungeon plus ship. One of the reviews said that they have tried emulating a ship, the inside of a submarine or something of that sort. But yeah, it's an interesting place. I think a restaurant worth visiting in St. Petersburg. So I was going through the list of top attractions as per Google in St. Petersburg, and actually the first one it says is State Hermitage Museum, but that's closed on Monday, which is today. St. Isaac Cathedral, I have been to. Savior on the Spilled Blood, I did yesterday. Well, I don't want to go inside it. I think it's probably going to be more or less the same. It was not even a church at any point of time. So yeah, I think the outside view itself is good enough. Palace Square is an open place. I was going there, but then I had to urgently find a toilet, so I decided to come here. I'll probably visit Palace Square, but it's just an open space with a tower or with a something at the center. Yeah, it's not really tall. So I'll probably go there. There's Peterhof, but it's pretty far. One way time itself is like 2 hours or 1.5 hours. So it's already 3 and I have train at 8, so I'm gonna skip that. Then there's Winter Palace, but that's closed. That has good number of reviews. Peter and Paul Fortress, I have been there yesterday. Kazan Cathedral, we went today. And there is Yusupov Palace. That is something which is open. I think these palaces are the palace of the Tsars. I don't know if I really want to go there. And Nevsky Avenue is the first thing that I have shot yesterday as soon as I came out of the metro station. So yeah, there's Summer Garden. It looks like a regular garden. I'm gonna skip. So looks like most of the stuff I have already been to, or they are closed, so I can't go. So yeah, I think that's pretty much end of my sightseeing. I'll probably just gonna go back to the hostel, chill a bit, maybe see if I can release my videos, and then just head out to the train station to catch my train to Moscow at 8 in the evening today. The Tolstoy Fair restaurant, and this is the menu that they have put outside the restaurant. Just came out of it. Well, the beer was pretty good, actually, pretty tasty. That's what the reviews also said, and I guess they were not wrong. And the food also, well, I didn't try any of the food, but the menu also looked pretty reasonable. Yeah, I wish I had discovered this earlier and would have probably come here for a meal. But sadly, I will be leaving St. Petersburg today. So now I will head to the Freedom Square, and there's one more monument that I discovered. It's called Bronze Horseman, which is the bronze statue of Peter the Great. And yeah, these are the two places I'll visit, and then I'll head back to the hostel. This building has caught my attention before as well when I was passing by. This seems like an entirely stone building. I don't know if it is real stone, but looks like it is. And it's probably unique because every other building seems to be like made of cement and bricks maybe. No more sun here, so probably this is a better view. This statue is the statue of Bronze Horseman. It's the Peter the Great riding the horse, and I think it's made of bronze, so that's why it's called Bronze Horseman. One story that I was reading about this statue was that this statue actually survived the Second World War. So in Second World War, Hitler has ordered complete annihilation of Leningrad. St. Petersburg was known as Leningrad back then, and it was ordered that the entire city has to be destructed. So people actually put sandbags and a wooden cover around it. That's what I read in Wikipedia, and the statue survived. The other interesting fact is the stone on which the statue is. It's called Thunderstone, and it's the Wikipedia says that it's the largest stone in the history of humankind that has been moved as is. So yeah, it does seem like a pretty big stone, but I'm actually surprised that nothing bigger than this has ever been moved. Well, Wikipedia must be right. This is River Neva, and the view from the Horseman, the Bronze Horseman place, and opposite to it are all these prominent buildings. I think one of them is that the palace that I had mentioned in the previous video. I think it's over there. I think the Winter Palace is also somewhere there. So yeah, all these prominent buildings are on the other side of the road. Another great thing is the view of the Isaac Cathedral. I think this is best seen from this place. All the other places inside, I think either you're too close, you can't see the thing for entirety, or then you have trees in front of you which will block your view, and this is the place where you can see it the best. This is the Winter Palace of the Tsars. This was also visible from the other side of the river when I was shooting before this, and unfortunately it is closed on Monday. So yeah, there's one palace that I wanted to see from inside, and it's different from these museums which were like churches turned museum. But yeah, this palace is closed today. There is next to it is there's another museum which is actually, as per the recommendation, it shows number 1 on Google, so I will be seeing that after this. Winter Palace, I don't know if the thing that I said is Winter Palace was actually Winter Palace, because from this side it is shown as the Hermitage Museum. Maybe it's the Winter Palace which is converted to the museum now and it's called Hermitage Museum. So I am at the Palace Square. It is a very large open area surrounded by palaces, I guess. That's why it's called Palace Square. I don't know what this yellow building is. This is an Alexander, something Alexander statue or Alexander Tower, some name is there. And then there's this big yellow palace on one side. There's this one small yellow palace on the other. I don't think it's palace, it's not being maintained really well. And there's this green Hermitage Museum on one side. And the fourth side is basically road. So that's what the Palace Square is about. Figured the name of this is Alexander Column, not Alexander Tower. And why Alexander, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the person on the top is Alexander. Seems like some angel. I think I will read up Wikipedia a bit and then comment back. So I read about the history of this column. Apparently, once upon a time, Napoleon from France attacked Russia and wanted to conquer Russia, but Russia successfully repelled the invasion from Napoleon, and this column was constructed in the memory of Russian victory. But why Alexander, I don't know. Alexander was from Rome and he did conquer quite a bit of things. I think he was Greek, if I don't know, I don't remember exactly. But maybe since Alexander got defeated while trying to conquer India, well, that's why maybe they called this Alexander Column, maybe. Yeah, so I looked up Google Map. It's called General Staff Building. This is opposite the Hermitage Museum and the Alexander Column. So from the name, I'm guessing it's basically the generals of the Russian Bolshevism and all. They kind of stayed here, I guess. You can get in. It's a museum. And there's a ticket 500 rubles. I will see if it's available. Maybe I'll go in. So maybe I'm wrong. I couldn't find any entrance or anything. I mean, there were gates which said staff only. There was no ticket counter. Maybe this is not general staff building. Maybe it's something else. But well, whatever it is a nice building. I think this yellow building is over here, and these are now the other buildings next to it. So yeah, that's pretty much end of the General Staff Building, or maybe that's what I call it, this building. Wax figure exhibition, and when I was passing by here, it actually felt like these are real, like the kind of things that you see in Europe, that there are actual people who kind of pose like a statue. I thought they are like those, but then I looked at this wax museum thing and realized no, they are actually wax museum. I mean wax statue, but they look pretty real. I just entered the Nevsky Prospect metro station, and when I swiped, when I put this 24-hour card, it actually showed on the display, I think something like 19 hours. So it looks like the card is valid for 24 hours. Not really, it doesn't expire at the end of the day. I should have actually bought it yesterday in around 8 o'clock because my train is at 8 today in the night. And so yeah, that would have lasted 24 hours. So yeah, that's a good thing to know, because in other countries countries like France and other places like Paris, I remember the 24-hour pass gets over by like 12 in the night, but that is not the case here in St. Petersburg at least. Maybe that's also probably applied to Moscow as well, but I will check. So finally I have reached the metro station from which I am going to the main train station, Moscow's T rail terminal. One weird thing I noted about the exit of this metro station is that there are two elevators to come in and one elevator to go out. This seems like a bad design to me. Like you always have, like if in case of chaos, you always have provision to let people move out more than actually come in. I don't know why they built it the other way. They must have some logic behind it, but well, I don't know. Okay, I have come out of the metro station gate there, and then I actually don't know which side exactly is the train station for the intercity trains. This happened to me in Moscow also. There are suburban train stations and they are displayed more prominently, like this timetable is for the suburban trains, and I didn't read it and I was trying to find my train here. The long distance train station is not as it's not as much visible as suburban train stations for some reason. That happened to me in Moscow also. So now I have to find where the intercity train station is. These are all the ticket counter for suburban train stations. Okay, yeah, this is how a long distance train station entrance looks like. They check your bags. The trains here, these are the bullet trains. They do St. Petersburg to Moscow in like 4 hours, but my train is going to be something like this. It's an overnight train. It's gonna take I think 8 hours, so not these bullet trains. Yeah, here I can see my train. It's the one at 8:32, the train number 89, Volgograd. Oh, my train goes to Volgograd. I never knew. And all the suburban trains, they have 4 letter numbers. And I was basically thinking that maybe I'm at the wrong train station. Thankfully, I read it was suburban. So yeah, station 9. So this is station 6. It says 7 to 11 is straight. So let's go to station 9. That's station 8 and 9. And my train, which is supposed to depart at 8:32 after half an hour, is already here on the platform. So cool. I think I can go ahead and board my train, or I can get into my coach. Unlike the other station where I had come to St. Petersburg, this station is of normal width. That particular station was like wide, like a motorway. Okay, the train I came in was air conditioned, like these, and I thought that all trains are air conditioned in Russia, but today's train that I am going to take is like this. It has openable window. Well, not exactly, but anyway, I saw in the ticket also that it says it's not air conditioned, and my coach number is I think 2. This is number 8. So yeah, it is not going to be air conditioned as far as, maybe it is, I don't know. Yeah, these windows look like it's air conditioned, but I saw some coaches behind that were not air conditioned is what I felt. So let's see how coach number 2 looks like. noticed is that the gap between the station and the train is pretty big in Russian trains. So they actually put a ramp for people to get onto the train. Like you can see the ramp there. And first I was like surprised as to why they are putting the ramp because well in India we can always just climb just like that. But now I realize as to why the ramp is needed. You see the distance is pretty large and you actually need the ramp to climb. Well, not exactly, but yeah, if you have a lot of luggage, then I think a ramp is definitely something you would need. There are very few people to board here, so that's a good thing. But let's see. There's a ticket checker who checks your ticket at the entrance. Like there's this lady checking, and yeah, I'll also get my ticket checked.
Сейчас мы попали прям самое вот это.
Все, поехали.
Реально?
Да.
It's 5 in the morning of August 27. I'm in the train from St. Petersburg to Moscow. It is about to reach Moscow in another 15 minutes. I'm actually standing outside the coach so that this is the gate behind me so that I'm not disturbing anyone early in the morning. And yeah, the train experience in Russia was pretty good. I think the trains are more fancier than the Indian ones, but they are kind of similar. But they also cost, I think, double the price. So I think that justifies. But overall, the etiquette of people is much better. They are more aware of their fellow passengers, so everybody will be silent, like nobody will play music on their phone or things of that sort, which is not the case usually in India. Yeah, but overall it was a pretty good experience. It's also a good break from riding. Been riding for past 50 days, so yeah, change of transport was a good change. And yeah, Moscow is, I think we are in Moscow. We will take another 15 minutes and then I'll board at Moscow. The plan for today is that I will try to find these parts of my Insta360. I wanted to get a better microphone, a higher stand for the Insta360 motorcycle mount. Those are the things I will go, and one of the friends, Anton, who the biker friend, had told me about a place where I can possibly get these, so I'll be going there, and then I will go for my chain sprocket change. Just got down at the Moscow station, and it's my train. And this station is not as big as the Leningrad station. I'll be now exiting from the station and going to Andres Place. I forgot to record one incident that happened yesterday, so I wanted to record a bit more of train yesterday evening when I checked in to the train. But when I was putting in my luggage, so I put my bag on the top where you store your luggage. So the lower berth people, they store their luggage below their berth, and the upper berth people, they have a separate luggage space on the top. And I put my bag on that luggage, and then my water bottle, the thermos was on the side of the bag. When I was taking the bag out, the bottle fell and it actually hit the hand of one of the ladies sitting in front of me, and I think it hit pretty hard because after that it fell on my leg and my leg is still paining. And I was a little scared because that was an elderly lady, and she did was like, oh, it has hurt me hard. But well, she did not complain when I said sorry. She said it's normal, and it's very nice of her, I would say. But I was feeling pretty sad about the incidents, and then I thought, okay, no more recording for today, and maybe I'll try it tomorrow. Looks like quite a few people on the train. I don't really know which side to go. Maybe I have to figure out. It says lounge, railway terminal, Wolski highway. I'll figure out. It's 6:15 right now. I'm standing at the bus stop of Vostochnaya railway station, and the bus I'm waiting for is 3:72. It says 3 minutes. So apparently buses in this area, or maybe in general in Moscow, I think they start only at 6, and I think that the metro starts by 7, or maybe the metro here is kind of late. So yeah, it doesn't run kind of overnight. So I was here at 5:15, and then I had to wait till 6:15 till the buses start to fly. I think the first bus left right now, but that's 8:60. That's not what I'm supposed to board. So I'm waiting for 3:72, and then there's one change, and then I have to take another bus, and then I will reach Andre's home. Boarded the 3:72 bus. It came in time. Well, the indicator said 2 minutes, and it came in 1 minute. And actually, in this bus, I was able to pay with my Russian card, Mir card of my Esper Bank. I remember the minibus that I boarded when I was going out of Moscow. It did not have that payment terminal, so I had to transfer using my bank app. But this particular bus had the payment terminal, so looks like you can pay with your card. I think that was the same in Leningrad, in St. Petersburg as well. I could pay with my bank card.